because when it's really going to be helpful for them is when we do our last hour. Like we were saying, they're going to need that. So we can keep it on so they can be watching.
How you doing?
I'm doing
Hi,
good.
hi, Eric.
I'm
Hi.
doing good. It's good to see you this morning. You
I
look all
know.
bright and happy.
Yep.
There you go.
Miss Laurie,
Yes.
when we were on 441, Eric used to be security over there.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Wow. He has a long history with Rayfield.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Securely.
Oh, that's good. Well, it's nice to meet you. This is the first time I've met you, and I've been at Rayfield for a couple of years now. And I keep thinking I'm gonna move back up to snow country, but
You ain't
Lord.
going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere.
I keep thinking I'm going, but I'm not going nowhere. That's funny.
So it got to be a reason why you're here, honey.
Right. It just has to be. It
Yeah,
just has to be.
yeah.
So I know this is one of the reasons, this virtual school.
Right.
I have been praying for something to do that would be a mission.
It's
And
God's
Well,
plan.
this a mission then.
it's a mission. It's a
Yes, ma'am. This is a mission here.
mission.
And Miss Amanda, it's a Mission
Yeah,
Impossible
man.
too, isn't it? Mission
Say that
Impossible.
again.
Listen,
Mission
it's,
Impossible.
Girl, no,
listen,
we're gonna have to make it possible.
it's gonna be
No,
pot.
I'm just saying that's the thing that used to come on television.
Yeah, I
Mission
know. I know what you're
Impossible. See?
saying. Mission Impossible. I know, darling.
You know the
Remember me and you up there the same age. You not know Mission Impossible. Don't play.
you remember the black guy that used to be in Mission Impossible? I
Yeah,
don't know
what's his
why.
name was with the afro?
The light skinned dude. What was his name? Anyway, he's my cousin from
Oh,
by
Oh,
marriage,
really?
but
for real?
I can't think of his name right now. And yeah, by marriage, she's my cousin. He married
Oh,
Wow.
my
okay.
cousin
Wow.
in West Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah,
Pretty handsome young man, too.
yeah, he is, and
Mhm.
he's not doing acting, but he's still like into the like directing and stuff like that.
But Laura, you've been in everything. I mean, you know a lot, too. You've been all over,
Oh,
right?
thank you. I
Look at you.
really,
She have. If you
yeah,
just listen to her. Wow,
yes.
I
she's
know you.
amazing.
You
I,
Miss
know me.
Laurie, you should do a reflection on your life.
Yeah, exactly.
That would
And
be
all the
fun.
things she have done, you're right.
Yeah, you do a reflection. Bodybuilder,
We got a celebrity.
bodybuilder,
We have a
and
celebrity at Rayfield, girl. You don't know.
Well, thank
yep.
you.
Like
We-
me. Like me.
But I know
Yes,
it's good. I know it's
you,
good to have you
Eric.
back, Miss Lori, because you sound so professional on here.
Thank you.
Yeah, you do,
Yeah,
darling.
Eric,
You put a
you're a
light to it.
professional too. Thank you
What
so much.
Eric said.
He said, like him, he's a celebrity. He said he is the
I
celebrity.
hear. I hear you.
There
All
you
Yep.
right,
go.
Eric.
Yep.
That big smile he got, that celebrity smile right there.
So what we doing today, Miss Lori?
We're gonna do we're gonna do phys ed today.
PE.
We're gonna put it
Oh
on
yeah, that's
the
exercise. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
announcements and we're gonna exercise. So everyone in room 203, if you're listening to me, make enough room so you can exercise in the classroom. And then everybody that's at home, if you can't move your legs, at least move your arms to what's going on the screen. we're still working on balance right now. We're working
Okay.
on maintaining our balance. And teachers, if you would like to do the workout as well, it's always fun to do.
How's everybody there?
Everybody is doing good. We're
Yeah.
um we're social distancing and wearing our masks, and everybody's following along with the Zoom. So it's a new way of teaching, but I
Yep.
think it's going to catch on. I think we're pioneers. We're like the first or something. What do you guys think? We're gonna
Yep.
make ourselves
Yes,
the
in this
first.
field, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
I must feel the same.
Hi, how are you, sweetie?
We need
Uh,
to have a contest of what we're gonna call this Rayfield Virtual School or Rayfield. I don't know. I have to talk to Dr. Carter about that, but I don't know. Maybe we should have a special name. Rayfield something 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 that sounds catchy.
Rayfield Virtual School.
Rayfield, okay. That's what I'm gonna call it. Rayfield Virtual School. All right, we got a vote. Rayfield Virtual School it is, Eric.
Yep.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm gotta find Justin. We're going to put on the announcements. I'll be right back.
So Eric, how are you feeling?
Good.
You feeling good?
Yeah.
Good, that's wonderful. Wonderful. We never met, but this is a meeting here. I'm one of the newer teachers at Rayfield. So it's really
I,
nice to meet you.
I saw you a couple of times in Rayfield.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
Yeah,
you saw,
because I saw you one time to help out, the food pantry.
yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I saw you before.
Okay. All right. Good. Very good. Nice to see you again, though.
Yep.
Yeah, your participation is good.
Yep.
Oh, what I wanted to tell you guys is that yes, the Bill of Rights is in the new announcements.
Yes.
Just goes quicker.
Yeah, we heard it yesterday. It was in there
Mm-hmm.
yesterday too. Yes.
Yeah, it's in there.
It's quick. It is quick.
Yeah, it just goes really quickly. Shatidra.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
There you
Yeah.
are.
Hey,
Announcements.
how you doing?
We are ready for the morning
I'm
announcements.
good.
You can stand up for the Star Banner, or if you prefer, take a knee.
So the first question is. Okay.
Good morning, Cindy.
The first question is. Are you just starting to look into solar? Solar yet?
All right, we're starting now.
It's a Rayfield thing, wouldn't understand. This month's first stone is Alexander. This month's flower is rose. This month we are voting for our prom king and queen. Don't forget to vote. This month we are also celebrating Father's Day on June 16th. This month will be celebrating our prom on June 18th at Boulevard Heights Community Center. Please take home your prom paper and RSVP for prom. We would also be celebrating our 3rd annual family reunion. This month is also hurricane season. The season officially begins on June 1st and on November 30th. Please be prepared. Restock on food, medication, flashlights, batteries, cash, and first aid kits, supplies. Plan how to communicate with family members if you lose power. Keep car in good working condition and keep the gas tank full and cover all your home windows. Storm shutters offer the best protection for the windows.
Now stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang like the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Good morning. Please pray along with me as we go to the Lord in prayer, going to Psalms 100. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye land. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know ye that the Lord, he is God. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pastures. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving, and into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him, and bless his name. For the Lord is good. His mercy is everlasting, and his truth endureth to all generations. Amen.
Somebody tell him thank you, thank you, Lord. Oh, come on. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Oh, I want to thank you, Lord. Come on, tell me. You've been so good this morning, you've been. I gotta move on. Been so good. Is that anybody else's testimony about besides myself? Tell me you've been so. I see you, Betty Jackson. Been so good. Good to see you, girl. You've been so good. You've been so good. Hallelujah. And I just want to
thank. We are still learning our Bill of Rights.
I have the right to vote. I have the right to see a doctor. I have the right to go to church. I have the right to remain disciplined. I have the right to community outings. I have the right to talk. I have the right to education. I have the right to receive treatment. I have the right to privacy and dignity. I have the right to make money. I have the right to exercise. I have the right to see my records. I have the right to own possessions. I have the right to seize services. I have the right to no discrimination. I have the right to no physical harm.
When the next general election rolls around, who will be eligible to show up at the polls and vote for the President of the United States? It's really pretty simple. If you are at least 18 years old, a citizen of the U.S., and a resident of a state, you can vote. Assuming that is, you're not a felon. Seems about right. After all, the United States prides itself on being a democracy, or a government in which the ultimate authority lies with the citizens of the nation. But it was not always this way. In 1789, George Washington won the Electoral College with 100% of the vote. But whose vote was it? Probably not yours. Only 6% of the entire United States population was allowed to vote at all. Voting was a right that only white male property owners were allowed to exercise. By the 1820s and 1830s, the American population was booming from the East Coast into the western frontier. Frontier farmers were resilient, self-reliant, and mostly ineligible to vote because they did not own land. As these new areas of the nation became states, they typically left out the property requirement for voting. Leaders such as Andrew Jackson, the United States' first common man president, promoted what he called universal suffrage. Of course, by universal suffrage, Jackson really meant universal white male suffrage. All he emphasized was getting rid of the property requirement for voting, not expanding the vote beyond white men. By the 1850s, about 55% of the adult population was eligible to vote in the U.S., much better than 6%, but far from everybody. Then, in 1861, the American Civil War began largely over the issue of slavery and states' rights in the United States. When it was all over, the U.S. ratified the 15th Amendment, which promised that a person's right to vote could not be denied based on race, color, or previous condition as a slave. This meant that black men, newly affirmed as citizens of the U.S., would now be allowed to vote. Of course, laws are far from reality. Despite the promise of the 15th Amendment, intimidation kept African Americans from exercising their voting rights. States passed laws that limited the rights of African Americans to vote, including things like literacy tests, which were rigged so that not even literate African Americans were allowed to pass, and poll taxes. So, despite the 15th Amendment, by 1892, only about 6% of black men in Mississippi were registered to vote. By 1960, it was only 1%. And of course, women were still totally out of the national voting picture. It wasn't until 1920 that the women's suffrage movement won their 30-year battle, and the 19th Amendment finally gave women the vote. Well, white women. The restrictions on African Americans, including African American women, remained. After World War II, many Americans began to question the state of U.S. democracy. How could a nation that fought for freedom and human rights abroad come home and deny suffrage based on race? The modern civil rights movement began in the 1940s with those questions in mind. After years of sacrifice, bloodshed, and pain, the United States passed the Voting Rights Act of 1965, finally eliminating restrictions such as literacy tests and protecting the voting rights promised under the 15th Amendment to the Constitution. Now, any citizen over the age of 21 could vote. All seemed well, until the United States went to war. When the Vietnam War called up all men aged 18 and over for the draft, many wondered whether it was fair to send men who couldn't vote to war. In 1971, the 26th Amendment to the Constitution made all citizens 18 and older eligible to vote, the last major expansion of voting rights in the United States. Today, the pool of eligible voters in the U.S. is far broader and more inclusive than ever before in U.S. history. But, of course, it's not perfect. There are still active efforts to suppress some groups from voting, and only about 60% of those who can vote do. Now that you know all the hard work that went into securing the right to vote, what do you think? Do enough citizens have the right to vote now? And among those who can vote, why don't more of them do it?
Hello, I'm John Kelly, Secretary of the United States Department of Homeland Security. As we enter hurricane season, we at the Department of Homeland Security and FEMA are working closely with our state, local, and federal partners to increase preparedness and coordinate response and recovery capabilities. We're also empowering individuals to take an active role in preparing themselves and their families and their communities. It only takes one hurricane to change your life and your community. Hurricanes are one of nature's most powerful and destructive events. They've caused 8 of the 10 costliest disasters in U.S. history. Now is the time to prepare, especially if you or a family member live in an area prone to hurricanes or inland flooding. Here are 3 things you can do. First, know your risk. Find out today what types of impacts could happen where you live. Hurricanes are not just a coastal problem. High winds, heavy rainfall, tornadoes, and flooding can be felt hundreds of miles inland. They can potentially cause loss of life and catastrophic damage to property. 2, prepare. Take action now. When a storm is approaching, it's too late. Make sure you have family evacuation and communications plans. Update your emergency supply kit and evaluate your flood insurance well before a storm is on its way. 3, stay informed. Know where to go for trusted sources of information during a hurricane event. To search for information about risks in your area, visit www.ready.gov and search for your state. To find hurricane forecasts, watches, and warnings, check with NOAA's National Hurricane Center, the Central Pacific Hurricane Center, and www.weather.gov. You can also download the FEMA app. The app includes disaster resources, weather alerts, safety tips, and push notifications to users' devices. It is designed to help families better prepare for disasters. I encourage you to visit each of these sites as soon as possible to make sure you know what to do to protect your family and property during hurricane season. Thank you.
Okay, that was the morning announcements, and now we're going to go to first disco, and then we'll be doing balance.
The mayor. With all these companies, I feel.
Hi, Cindy.
All right, just a few more moments.
How you doing?
And now it's time for your warm-up. Feet together, have a little bounce, feel the beats. Shoulders shrug. Step together. Step together, step tap. So really lifting the shoulders, pushing the hands down into the floor. Here we go, a little bigger, reach behind, reach. So reach and pull. You could be grabbing something off that top shelf and put it in your basket. Reach. 4 more. 4, 3, bring it forward, disco walk, come down. And back. You're coming on, here we go, 2 more times. So just getting that heart rate lifted, just easy walks forward and back. Last time, tap and slide, right, left. Tap, tap, out, in, slide. Tap, tap, out, in, slide. So swinging the hips, extend the leg, out, good. Back to that reach behind, right arm, reach, up. Let's celebrate. Good workout with a good warm-up. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5. Grapevine to the right side. 3 steps. Step behind, step back. Optional with a turn. Back. No turn. You know it's time. Disco walk. Forward. Let me hear you say, woohoo! You can even funk it up. You can have the chicken. Doesn't matter, just have a good time. Good time. Shoulder shrug to the right. Step together, step tap. 4 reaches, reach up. 4, 3, 2. Shoulder shrug. Good. Reach. 4, 3. Hip swing. Swing forward, forward, back. Forward, back. Spot basic. Slow, slow, quick, quick, quick. Again. Forward, back. Have a little push. Spot, slow, slow. Quick, quick, quick. Again. Forward, back. Don't be afraid to push it out. Ooh. 1 more time. Push. Swing. Back. Spot, slow. Slow. Grapevine to the right. Let's go. Keep it straight or you can turn them all. It's up to you. Turn. Woo. 2 more. Straight or turn. Come down. Let's go. Back. Let me hear you say. Woo. Don't forget that funky chicken. Ooh. Good. Shoulder shrug to the right. Step. And back. 4 reaches. Reach. 4, 3, 2. Shoulder shrug. Back. Reach. 4, 3. Hope you're having a little glow. Last time. Reach it up. We go. 4, 3, 2, 1. And there's your warm-up. And now it's time for your swing jive. Squat basic. Slow, slow, 4 quick. Woo, slow, slow. Quick, quick, quick. 1 more. Slow, slow. Back to the tap and slide. Tap, tap, tap. Out, in, slide. Again. Tap, tap. Out, in, slide. Tap, tap. Out, in, slide. Last one. Chicken walk. Coming forward right. Twist. 2, 3. Tap and back. Now we're going to change legs. We're going to do an extra step. Left 3, 2, and back. Spot basic. Slow, 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 quick. Slow, slow, quick. Turning rock. Step together, step tap. Now we're turning. Single. 4, 3, 2. Now to the left with the same leg. Single. Spot basic. Slow, slow. Quick, you want to play it? Woo! Slow, slow, quick, 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 quick. Tap and slide. Tap, tap, out, in, slide. Tap, tap, out, in, slide. Tap, tap. Last one. Back to the chicken walk. Right, left. 3, 2, 1, back. Remember, we're going to add that extra step to change leg. 3, 2, 1, tap back. Spot basic, slow. Fast. Slow. Fast. Turning rock to the right. Step together, step, tap. Single. Same leg to the left. Single. Come on, give me one big arm up. Right arm. And there's your swing jive. Time for your disco.
10,
Left arm.
9,
Right.
8.
Left.
Yay, we go to the next one. Everybody in 203 was participating as well. Yay, thank you, 203. I saw some of you guys. I saw Miss Amanda jamming over there. Cindy.
Our first exercise is just going to get us used to walking the line. Remember, at home, you might put your line next to the wall so that you have it for stability and support. What I'd like you to do is simply walk forward. Don't worry about the line at all. I'm going to have you turn around and walk back. Let's do that again. Walk forward. Don't worry about the line right now. And walk backwards. Walking backwards is a very important skill, but it is more challenging. So if you don't feel comfortable today walking backwards with some of the drills that we're going to do, feel free to leave those out and build up to them as you feel comfortable. As we walk forward again, I'd like you to turn your head to one side and then to the other. And again, let's turn around and do the same thing. Just walk back, don't worry about the line, just turn your head and face forward. We'll do the same thing again, walking forward, turning your head to one side and then the other. And now let's walk backwards. You might have felt like that was challenging, and it is. Oftentimes when we're walking and we're trying to have conversation with somebody, there's a tendency to stop and converse with the person because our balance is off a little bit. As we practice these drills, turning our head to the right and the left, it trains us to be able to keep walking and have a conversation with somebody else, improving our balance. Our second exercise is going to be actually walking the line. So putting your foot on either an imaginary line or the painter's tape if you have that down. I just would like you to walk one foot in front of the other. Maybe your arms are out to the side to help you to keep your balance. And let's turn around and do the same thing. Now you may have noticed that you were looking down at the line to get your balance. I'd like you to do that again, but keep your eyes to me, please. That's trickier, I know. But if we fall off the painter's tape line, it's not a big deal. Could we turn around and go back? Now I'm going to trust that you're not looking down, but you're looking straight forward. Excellent. Now it is a little tricky. We're going to do the same thing and we'll add in those head turns. You ready? If you need to stop, that's okay. Catch your balance. We're practicing to improve our balance. Can we do this backwards? It's tricky for me too, and you don't have to add in the backward movement with the rotational head if you're not ready for that. That's fine. Our next exercise is going to be toe walking forward. So you might practice it without the line first. We're up on our toes. That's some balance right there. Now let's just walk forward, turn around, and walk back. Give yourself a little break. Let's do that again, but this time on the line. So toe walk forward, arms out to the side for balance. See if you can look forward. Let's turn around. Looking forward and not down at the line. And turn around. All right, we have one more. You ready? Walking on our toes, turning to one side, and then the other. I'll give you a little break. Now we have to go backwards, and it is tricky, so build up to this as you feel comfortable. Ready? Maybe we don't turn our head to start. Maybe we add the head turns later. Very nice job. All right, our next one is to cross over the line. So I'm going to stand on one side of the line, hands on hips, just going to cross over and move forward. You can turn around or we can move backwards. For our next exercise, your outside leg is going to cross over. Outside leg crosses over. This is a pretty big hip mobility movement. See if you can look forward rather than down. And I wouldn't recommend crossing over going backwards, so we can just walk backwards. And we have one more exercise we're going to do. Walking on your heels. Maybe we won't worry about the line right now. Turn around. I almost feel like I'm walking like a duck. Now let's see if we can walk the line. It's tricky. I got to add a little speed there. And we can turn around or we can try backwards. That one's a little tricky. Excellent. Our next exercise is called a truck and drill. So standing on one side of the tape, your inside leg is going to circle sweep out over the tape and then just step in. So circle sweep and step in. Now you can do this just side to side. We don't have to add any forward movement, or we can add forward movement. Speed is not important here. I want big circles. We've got some weight shifting going on, which is going to affect balance, but we're also working on hip mobility and range of motion. Let's turn around and do the same thing. Depending on what side of the tape you're standing on, your inside leg, big circle sweep, step. Big circle sweep, step. And start walking towards the end of your tape. If you notice yourself looking down, remind yourself to look forward. And then turn around and face me. Excellent. Our next exercise is just going to be hopping over the line. So I'm just going to hop over and hop over. Now I want you to notice I'm landing on my toes and absorbing down into my heels. Toe ball heel, bend my knees, absorb the impact. Toe ball heel, land in, down, and absorb the impact. So side to side, or we can travel forward. And again, there's a tendency to look down. I'd like you to look to me. And you can either choose to turn around and do that same exercise going back, or let's try it moving backwards. Remember, moving backwards is a very challenging skill. It really is, and it takes a little practice. So if you feel a little off balance, don't feel bad. That is very normal. This is a very challenging skill for a lot of people. Good, perfect. I have one more progression for you. You choose if it's right for you or if you just want to move on to the next exercise. We're going to do a double jump over the line. A double jump over the line. I want you to use your arms. So we're going to bend our knees. We're going to use our arms to lift, toe ball heel land, And if you'd like to, we'll move this forward. It's almost like we're skiing. Side to side. I'm really using my arms to help me get going. Good news here, I'm not gonna make you do it backwards. We'll just walk back. Excellent. Once you get to the end of the line, could I have you turn and face the line, please? And all we're gonna do is take one leg and step over and step back. There's a tendency, again, I know I've said this a lot, but we do look down to see where we are. And while that's normal, I want you to try to get in the habit of looking straight ahead. And then to add a challenge, I'd like you to look to me and then look away. And then we'll stop and we'll work on the other side. You ready? So your other leg, just walk over and back. Can you pick up your knees a little bit? Excellent. We'll look forward. And then we'll look to me. And we'll look back. And stop. Excellent. We're just going to increase the intensity with a little bit more impact. Your starting leg is going to hop over and hop back. Looking forward. One more time. And let's do the other leg. Hop forward, hop back. Toe ball, heel landing. One more. And then I do have a challenge for you. Your choice if it's the right challenge for you. A double foot jump over the line. You ready? So we're gonna squat down to get ready, and we're going to spring over the line and then back. Just 3 more, okay? Toe ball, heel, bend your knees, absorb the landing, toe ball, heel. 2 more. 1 more time. Excellent. Walk your legs out a little bit. Our next exercise is just going to take us down our line. So it's a side step down and a side step back. Not too hard, right? What if we make this more of a squat? Down, up. Look forward and move back. Looking forward. 1 more progression just to increase the intensity a little bit. Shuffle down the line and shuffle back. You ready? Bend your knees and shuffle down. Shuffle back. We'll do it 1 more time. And back. Excellent. Our next exercise is a little more challenging, so I want you to think about what you need to do to be successful. We're going to cross over as we walk forward and cross over as we walk back. So I'm going to start with my leg that's towards the back wall. I'm going to cross over the front, uncross, and then that leg is going to cross behind and uncross. So cross forward, uncross, cross behind, uncross. And let's go back the other way. It is okay to look down. I want you to be really careful that you're not catching your feet as you're moving. Now, a couple things I'd like you to pay attention to, especially if you have a line down on the floor. I notice that I'm a little bit wobbling forward and back over the line. It's not a bad thing, but having the line down helps me to be aware of that. So as I cross over, I'm going to see if I can keep my toes right behind the line. And then we'll move back. Great job.
Okay, I hope everybody had a wonderful time and enjoyed themselves and got fit and ready for the day. And I want to thank everybody. Thank you all teachers and thank you students. And you guys did a great job today. I'm really happy. I'm very excited for the future Rayfield Virtual School, since we seem to have this catchy name. So have a great day. God bless you. Bye-bye.
You too. Have a
Bye.
great day, Lauren.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, staff.